St. Louis police arrested a gay bar owner after crashing into their bar.
What?
When I was a news reporter, the biggest news story I ever did was about a police officer lying about a McDonald's cup. I'm Dan.
I'm Graham.
And you are listening to the More Than Roommates podcast. Okay, so this is pretty breaking news today, Graham. So the time that we're recording this, St. Louis police arrested a gay bar owner after crashing into their bar.
What?
So
I'm gonna need a little more on that.
So they
Why did he...
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. So
The police crashed.
Yes, the police crashed into the bar, and then the owner came out and was obviously upset, and it ended up that they arrested him and charged him with a felony. So
A felony?
yes,
For what?
Assaulting an officer.
Like verbally or what? Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
So what originally they say happened is police were driving down the street and they saw a dog in the road, and then they swerved and crashed into a bar. These two bar owners, they're a gay couple. They live above the bar, but they were working in them. They come out. They're obviously upset.
Did anyone get hurt? Sorry to interrupt. Okay.
No. And supposedly the two bar owners are mouthy, and they say some things, and they kind of get into like a verbal altercation, and then the bar owner tries to go off towards an alley, and in the alley a scuffle ensues. They like arrest the guy, beat him up, and pull him into the car. And
They beat him, the owner, up?
Yes. And
For what?
they say he like shoved them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then video comes out from across the street, and it shows that there was no dog. The car was flying, and I'm including it in the video, so watch it if you're just listening.
Yeah.
It flies down the street. There's nothing in there, and it swerves into the building. They had no lights on, no sirens, so it's all turning into very suspicious. And they arrested the guy. They charged him with a felony. Well, he was released the next morning. Apparently, there's a second video that has not been released to the public, but a passerby was recording it. It's 30 minutes long. It has sound. And they showed the video to the reporters at this press conference, but it has not been released public. And it supposedly shows a completely different story. And it is looking like...
So, like... a person in power abusing their power.
What?
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise. Graham's meme of the week.
Yeah.
But it seems like the officers were speeding and not paying attention and crashed, and I think they just got so frazzled that they beat this dude up. They were
To
not
try to blame. Like,
I think they were just obviously like frazzled that they realized they're going to get in trouble. They realized they just crashed into a building, and then you got this guy that's mouthing off to you saying you're an idiot.
Yeah.
He supposedly said some other inappropriate stuff, but
man, that's what... No matter what happens to you, the damage has been done. You're just going to make it... worse.
And my thing
I'm
is,
not saying I wouldn't be heated in the moment too,
but you're a trained officer, and you're supposed to de-escalate situations.
right.
You, again, I think we've said this before, but a police officer has to be the cream of the crop. You cannot uphold the law and be an okay person. You have to be in control at all times. And it seems like they just got so frazzled, and they just beat the crap out of this dude. So he came out and did a little press conference, and he's got black eyes. He's got bruises all over his body. So I think there's going to be a lot to come out of this. And supposedly the bar owner, it's a gay bar, which could be another element to this. That's kind of why I wanted to talk about this. It was a gay bar. There are two husbands, and they said that St. Louis police speed through that area all the time. So when they crashed, they were like, "You idiots, like, this is why you shouldn't speed." And so, I don't know, it's just crazy.
Trying to undo my cap.
Yeah.
Kind of hard one hand.
Yeah. So
jeez.
And it's just crazy that you have to have this much evidence, and so they've dropped it from a felony to a misdemeanor, and they released him
Wow.
on his own accord. He didn't have to bail out.
Wow. So how long was he in jail? Like more than a day?
I think overnight. And they released him today. So it happened last night. He was released today. And like major news outlets are already reporting on this. I think this is going to be big.
Yeah.
And I think they realized they messed up. And come on, St. Louis police. That's where I'm from. You guys got to do better. Have you not learned from all this stuff? Like,
yeah. Oh my God. So a lot has gone on there for sure throughout the years. But
I know. This day and age, it shows you.
My coaster.
I did steal your coaster.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
It shows you just got to be filming. Do you think? There's a lot of assumptions. That's the glory of being on a podcast. This is just our opinion.
Yeah.
But do you think?
Obviously, we don't. I mean,
them
if
being
the other
gay,
video's not out, we don't have all the pieces,
it's hard to say if them being gay was a factor. It seems like it just happened that they crashed into that building.
Yeah.
But it's not a good look when you're beating up a gay person.
Right. I was gonna say, like, they could have taken extra attention to like where they crashed, and I don't know. It doesn't take a lot to have like foresight in today's day. I think because anything, no matter what it is going to be like put out there. You know what I mean? And the hate to say it, the media is gonna grab the headline too. That's their job. To get clicks. Too. Like it's just like, come on, use your brain.
I know, man. But if I would be running to be those guys' lawyer right now, because if there is video evidence that can prove that, so it already has been proven that they lied. The cops have lied to some extent. They lied that there was a dog and that was the reason they crashed. Supposedly the people were both a year or under being a police officer on that department. Okay. Both rookies.
Were they do you know if they did any kind of like sobriety test? Like, is there any question with if the cops were?
It sounds like when other
maybe they're getting into the funny stash down at the precinct. Yeah. You never know.
Well, it sounds like the other officers that came on scene were really defensive of the cops and not really like.
You're typical.
I know.
Mean, you go for your own tribe, you know what I mean?
They should have immediately been sent out to another jurisdiction or like another law enforcement agency. I don't know how you could do that.
Examine or whatever,
Yeah, when you realize a police officer has crashed into a building, you would be like, oh man, this is big. Especially in a place where St. Louis, where there's different municipalities within St. Louis. They could have just reached out to a neighboring
That's
department.
What I was curious. Like,
I don't know. It could have happened. Okay. Again, this is still all unfolding, but I have personal insight with police not being truthful. When I was a news reporter, the biggest news story I ever did was about a police officer lying about a McDonald's cup that he received. Like, if you Google like Kansas police officer lies about McDonald's cup, my story will pop up. But he said like a McDonald's employee wrote effing pig on their cup. We all were like, oh, up in arms. This guy made an emotional post about how hard it is to be a police officer. It was all a lie. Yeah. The guy just lied through his teeth. The poor McDonald's employee was getting death threats because it was a small town. People quickly figured out who the employee was. And the guy just lied through his teeth. And then the chief of police for that department that gave me the exclusive interview lied to my company about how my interview went, and tried to get me in trouble. We could do a whole deep dive into that later, but I had just had some training about like when you're about to do a story that's going to really upset the person you just interviewed, there's a courtesy that you can call them and say, like, this story's not going to look good. Well, I got some information 10 minutes before the broadcast that McDonald's proved that the guy was lying. So I called and left the guy a voicemail and was like, hey, just so you know, when you turn on the TV, it's going to be a slightly different story than what we thought 5 hours ago. And after the story aired, the guy called me. Or no, he sent it in an email and was like, great story. You did a really good job of showing both sides. So then after it blew up overnight and suddenly his job was on the line, he like called my news station and was like, your reporter really came under false pretenses. We agreed that the story was going to look like this.
And we don't agree on what a story is going to look like. First of all, we're going to put the facts on the table and let the viewers
He
decide.
gave me like a list of questions that I was supposed to ask, and I asked all those questions, and I asked more questions because that's what a journalist.
Oh wow, you're a journalist.
Is the camera on? Oh, sorry for that. We're testing out a new camera, so if you're watching it, you saw a little jumbling, but where it cut off was.
Yeah, guy, I mean, you're doing your job.
Yeah. I asked the questions that he wanted me to ask, and I asked more, and I put my story together. Mm-hmm. But it got to the point that I had to, like, my news station was questioning me, and I didn't understand why. They were like, oh, did blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, well, we heard that the chief of police said da-da-da-da. And I was like, actually, I have proof that he enjoyed the story. It just, he got upset when...
It didn't look good on him. Yeah.
And so I showed them that email, and then that was it. But I'm like, police officers, like, you cannot be a liar. Like, I just don't understand this. And we can go more in depth into that story, but this just shows there is a pattern, and there's a reason that the public should take precautions before... They should question everything, and I hope the best in this situation. I hope the truth comes out.
Right? That's all you can ask for.
But if truth, it makes you want everyone wear a body camera because you don't. It's bad when you can't trust the police.
Yeah,
they'll do whatever they can to cover themselves up, and they just beat that guy up.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Oh my gosh, I would be suing everything if it comes out that the police are in the wrong. That is not a good look.
Yeah. I mean, it's like historically, like we've seen this for decades and decades. I mean, like it would just happen a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
in 2020, like.
Yep.
You got the LA riots. Like, there's so many different things. Like, I'm not like trying to say there are not good police officers out there, because there are. Mm-hmm. You know, there are really people that are in law enforcement that I respect. You know, it's not about that. It's just about, like you said, there cannot be any weak links.
No. And gosh, you just are under a microscope right now. So y'all have to, what they say you're only as strong as your weakest link. And that's not a good look, you know?
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. So
I guess we'll see. I mean, it's so early.
It's very early in what's
story,
happening.
You know, who knows when that other video, and I want to see the first video. I haven't seen it yet,
so make
that's
sure
why I haven't been talking a lot.
We just wanted to be on it more than roommates breaking news. We wanted to be on top of everything. I was thinking about that, like, there has not been a lot of big news, you know, since the submersible. Like, there's not been, like,
I mean, you've heard about the Pope in the Catholic Church, right? I mean, while we're
we should
on
talk about
topic, I was I took my truck in for service today, and they had it on, you know, a major news conglomerate, you know, talking about it, and there was like a priest, like, trying to pull up, you know, I didn't really listen to it. I was like, I'm gonna drink my coffee and scroll on my phone, you know what I mean? But the priest was trying to, you know, went on like Fox News basically, and was just like having a conniption fit.
You didn't explain.
I'm sorry. So the Pope just recently said that the church would maybe recognize, like,
could bless
same-sex
marriages,
couples, like a union or whatever, right? So.
Yeah. And of course, I looked at the comment section and shouldn't have, but it's just God, people. We're gonna have to do our religious episode, because lately I've been thinking about it a lot, and
I grew up Catholic. I think
Same.
I mentioned that. So, but I mean, I like grew up Catholic. Like, I went to Catholic school the whole way,
and we are gonna take our wins when we can. We appreciate the Pope and the Catholic Church for acknowledging that, and I hope more churches and pastors and priests follow in those footsteps and say, hey, if the Pope thinks it's okay, maybe it's okay.
Right, exactly.
You know, maybe we all won't burn in hell, but we'll see.
I know.
And this episode is also our Christmas episode. This is the last episode
I didn't know
before Christmas, because it's on Monday. Yeah,
I'm glad I got a Christmassy shirt on then.
So Happy Christmas, Merry
Crisis,
Merry Chrysler,
Merry Chrysler.
For those who celebrate. So I hope you guys are getting some good food, getting some good presents, spending some time with people, enjoying the time off work.
Oh my God, I'm laughing in my head. So do you want to hear my out of office email?
Yes.
I had Chat GPT. I was like, write me an out of office email.
Yeah.
And I pretty much copied it like word for word.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was just so funny.
Let's hear it when you ask for Graham's.
Let's see.
When I ask you to work.
All right, hold on. Let me see. Okay, yep. Greetings. Thank you for reaching out. I'm currently out of the office savoring the festive spirit of the holiday season.
Incredible.
I won't be available to respond to emails until I return on January 2nd, 2024. Wow, that sounds weird. During this time, I'll be cherishing moments with family, friends, and perhaps a cup of hot cocoa by the fireplace.
Oh my gosh, I want your in your email signature to have like a picture of you, just like
that
season's greetings. But that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
That was the gist of it. Yeah,
that is awesome. I have to share about my Christmas present that I got from work.
Ooh.
It is insane.
We were shook.
So my boss got it for me. I appreciate the gift and always appreciative, but it was not what I expected. They got me some slippers that have a heating element to them, and I was like, "Oh my gosh,
yeah,
that seems awesome!" You know,
Lit.
You can charge them. You hit a button, and they'll warm my toes when I take the dog out. And then I unbox them. There's no electronics to it. I don't know what I was thinking. It's a microwavable slipper.
That's so nasty.
I am just so disgusted by it. I'm like, you expect me to be walking around with my dogs barking? Obviously, it's going to make my feet sweat.
I was going to say, let me put my foot funk up in the place where you microwave food, like a leftover.
Who thought that was a good idea? I looked back at them again. You take the rice and stuff, it slips out of it.
Oh, okay.
I don't care.
Still.
No, anywhere near my feet. And you expect me to just cook that in the microwave and be like, oh, it's cold today. Let me just throw my slippers in the microwave. And I'm
so I'm getting Dan like a little slipper microwave for Christmas.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, I need to go find my old apartment microwave and just have it dedicated just for my slippers.
Yeah.
Again, could thought.
You could give the tuna sandwich people a run for their money in the office.
Oh my gosh, someone did cook fish the other day.
That's like, so rude. Okay,
so
I like fish. But like, you gotta respect other people, man. Like,
gosh, that was a bold choice.
That's like a little much.
It is for sure. So
something like burnt popcorn. That is a pet peeve of mine.
I don't get how people would burn struggle.
Popcorn.
So yeah, either that and people. It happened in my dorm. We were warned about it when I first moved in, but people forget to put water in their ramen. And I was like, I've never forgotten.
It caught on fire.
It burns. Yeah. I was like, I've never forgotten to do that. Someone forgot to do it. I was like, how?
You must be distracted. Do you remember when we recorded that entire episode?
And then the file got corrupt.
No, it wasn't recording or something. Remember?
No, the file got corrupt.
Oh, I thought we recorded one time and it just wasn't recording.
I don't know.
It's amateur hour up in here.
It is. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't get people microwavable slippers. That's my PSA for 2024.
And as you've mentioned before, ask them before you buy them a mug, because we have another mug now.
I got another mug today. I've gotten at least...
Time to hit up the Goodwill. And by that, I mean dropping off some stuff.
In the few years I've worked here, I've probably gotten 10 mugs.
Oh, at least.
10 coffee mugs. I got another one today. This is my PSA every year. Stop getting people coffee mugs unless they want them.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to seem ungrateful. I guess I'm the Grinch this year, but it's like, come on.
But it's like, we're trying to like be planet conscious, man. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we're all kind of moving closer and closer towards this knowledge that it's just a consumerist holiday, and it's just like, I don't know, there's so much pressure, and then like, I don't know, you don't want to give people junk, and like, I sure as F don't want junk, you know what I mean?
You
like,
don't want microwavable slippers?
No. Slippers would be fine.
Sending it back
like something I can use, great, but like,
yeah, don't get me a gift just to get me a gift.
Right, like I appreciate it, but
we don't need
just
it.
Your presence is a present.
Aww.
Right, except for you. I'm gonna get you something, baby.
Yeah.
And my mom, of course.
Yeah.
We already got her in my.
And we get the kid stuff.
Right.
We're Scrooges, but for adults, Save it.
Yeah, please. Like, your friendship is all I need. Like,
yeah. Well, I think that will do it for our holiday episode. Let us know your thoughts about.
Yeah, it was a whole 180. Yeah. I forgot that we were trying to get Christmas in there too. At least we got the tree up in the background.
Yeah, we got the tree, and
we should have put
snoozing dog.
She needs a Christmas dress.
She does. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Let us know if you heard anything about the St. Louis Police, or if there's any updates.
Yeah.
And also like and subscribe. Please send this to your friends. We're still trying to get some views on these episodes. Yeah. So, okay, well, you guys have a happy Merry Christmas.
Blessed holiday.
Be blessed.
Be blessed.